Hey everyone, Alvi here. Oh, I picked a great time when there's a really loud motorbike going past. Sorry. This is the card selection section for this week's next 7 days guidance. Pick a card reading. Group 1 we have just a lot of cards here, which is a pyramid. It's an orgonite pyramid. I'm getting sort of like Atlantis vibes from there, or Lemuria maybe. Then we have group 2, who is being represented by the little witch figure. And then we have group 3, which is being represented by the amethyst geode. Hey guys, Alvi here. This is group 1's reading. If you chose the orgonite pyramid, I'm trying to speak up. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I just have trouble with words. Anyway, this is your reading. So your group 1, you chose the orgonite pyramid. And these are your oracle messages. So first card we have up is thank you, gratitude and appreciation for what's sustaining you. And the next card we have is the cosmic ocean. So it's kind of like giving me vibes of, it says current dreams, future realities, and new beginnings. So the energy that's kind of coming through with that is like there's a lot of change going on in your life at the moment. You have dreams that, you know, maybe you've been focusing on, and they are going to turn into future realities. At the moment, it's a time of new beginnings, and it's kind of like the tides. It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of how to explain the tide going in. You know, when the tide goes out, it's very different to when the tide comes in. It's like that. It's sort of like there's this push-pull kind of energy coming through. And it might feel a bit, I don't know if turbulence is the right word, but just a little bit uncomfortable because shifting is always uncomfortable. So, I ended up with that's strange. That's not even from there, but I guess maybe it's meant to be. There's a card there that I didn't put on the pile. It's from a completely different deck, so interesting, but you guys get a bonus. And the next card I have for you guys is connect with nature. So you're rejuvenated and inspired by spending time outdoors. And the next one we have is ask your angels. So I'm kind of sensing this theme coming through, and this is the sort of like underlying energy of the next 7 days for you guys. So I feel like you're being guided to be appreciative of what's already in your life that's sustaining you. The more that you're appreciative of what you've got, the more kind of you open up the energy for more to come in. So and I feel like that's sort of the message for you guys because of this push-pull energy that I'm talking about. Like, I'm trying to think of how to explain it. I'm getting kind of like, you know, the word undertow. So like, you know, when the tide comes in, but there's actually like another layer of water underneath that's pulling out. That's what's sort of happening here. It's sort of like a timeline overlap shift, which is really confusing, you know. And I'm trying to think of the best. I can feel the energy of it, but I'm trying to think of the best way to actually describe it. So hopefully that kind of describes it. Like, it's like sometimes you get this in between when you're changing, when you're shifting, but with you guys, with this group, I don't feel like the in between is there. Like, I feel like it's just kind of like this, like one timeline is overlapping the other one, and as the wave sort of collapses, they're pulling out, you know, pulling in different directions, which might feel confusing or just sort of like you're not really sure what's going on because it doesn't feel normal, I guess. And I'm feeling like with the connect with nature card coming through, they're just saying like to unplug and unwind. A lot of the time it's really, you know, like we get a big dopamine hit from our social media and stuff like that, but it's also like a constant thing that you cannot get away from, and sometimes it's just too hard to focus and concentrate, especially if you're a sensitive person, if you've just got this constant information, like streams of information coming at you from all sides all the time. So it kind of you're being guided to go out into nature and, you know, switch off all the tech for a while, even if you do it for like 15 minutes a day, so that there's just, you know, just you and the trees, just you and like the sea or wherever you happen to be. And it gives you time to sort of like reset your energy, which is what I feel you might need to do a few times this week because of the way that I just described that energy. And then we also have Ask Your Angels. So I feel like with this card coming through, it's a little bit like, if you're having trouble with this energy, ask your angels to help you. But also there's like maybe maybe there's like a question that you need an answer to, and the only place that's really, you know, you're going to get the right answer from is from your angels, or from by going into your inner self and connecting, you know, with higher, more expanded consciousness. So oh, pardon me. Let's have a look. Oh, the sniffing as well. Sorry, guys. The channeling. It takes a toll. Not takes a toll, but it's like the way energy works through my body. I sniff and I cough and I sigh and burp a lot when I'm channeling, when I'm reading. So please excuse my weird sniffles and things. Okay, so let's have a look at messages for group 1. Oh wow, they really wanted to come out. So the 9 of Cups, okay, and then we have the 3 of Wands, and we have the Hierophant. Okay, so those 2 cards, just I did these readings backwards. I started with group 2, just because I kept getting interrupted while I was trying to do this one, and I thought, well, you know, that's probably a sign that it's not the right time. But so the 3 of Wands and the Hierophant came up for group 3, I think it was, as well. So you might want to check that one out and see if there's any messages in there for you as well. Can I get some messages for group 1 for the next 7 days, please? There we go. Alright, sorry. That was taking a really long time to shuffle. So messages for group 1 for the next 7 days. 7 of Pentacles upright, the King of Swords reversed. And let's have another look. Just a few more messages for group 1. I said a few, not 700. That's like way too many cards. So a couple more messages for group 1 about the next 7 days. Alright. So we have Temperance. We have the 4 of Cups reversed. And we have the Magician. This is a lot of cards as well, but I'm going to take them all because I feel like they're just meant to be there. And that's the lot. So we will have a look here. So first of all, this is really cool. Like, as I said, these are current dreams that are turning into new realities for you. But you still need to go through this new beginning, because to be, you know, having these new future realities, you kind of have to change a little bit. But having the 9 of Cups come up at the beginning of this 7 days is a really good sign. It's, you know, the 9 of Cups is about wish fulfillment, right? I feel like you will just feel really abundant and really kind of loved, and, you know, just be in the flow of this big love energy that's coming through right now. I've got some Instagram videos and stuff up at the moment of reels and energy readings I did earlier, and there's just like this big love energy coming through right at the moment. So Yeah, the beginning of the week looks really cool. You've got the Three of Wands. So this is talking about, looking out for, further opportunities, looking outside of your usual kind of sphere. Um, it's also about using creativity and that sort of stuff, but it can talk about travel, it can talk about planning, can it's just sort of like seeing into the future and planning for the future. So, what am I seeing here? Yeah, and then we've got the Hierophant. So the Hierophant talks about like your connection with Source and um, being able to sort of, I guess this is kind of tying in with like thank you and appreciation, because you can have a look here, right? This, you can see this guy is just kind of laughing, and the reason that I feel like he's laughing is this kind of, it's uplifted energy. It's like really good energy coming through, and when you're in that energy, it's sort of like nothing bothers you as much. You are you're grateful for what you've got, and what was it? One of my friends used to say, "It's all good or it ain't shit." It's that kind of attitude, because you know that you're like connected to something bigger than you, and that things that don't work out for you are actually redirections, and that is, it's like protection, right? It's protection from the divine when they redirect you somewhere else. So this guy's like, he's not bothered, he's in surrender, he's just surrendered, and he's like, it's cool, whatever happens is cool, I'm going with it, right? And this is the kind of energy that I feel like you guys are going to have at the beginning of these 7 days, because these are amazing cards, and I just feel like everything's kind of gonna feel really easy and graceful and abundant, and you can be planning ahead, you can be looking further afield, because you know that things are going to work out no matter what anyway. Then we come to sort of like the middle of these 7 days, and we have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is talking about, planting seeds and waiting for them to grow, tending the seedling and the things that you're growing. So whatever you're investing in, whatever you've put a lot of energy in, you'll see that this is starting to grow. It won't be like, you'll get a huge amount of abundance or something, but perhaps it's more like you see the promise of it, right? You can see when you plant a seed, you don't see anything for a little while, then you see a little seedling and a few leaves, and then it gets a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and this is kind of like, it hasn't gotten to the point where it's a big tree that gives a lot of fruit, but you can see what's going to happen, and you're feeding it, you're willing to put in the work to make whatever it is that you are focusing on, bringing into reality, that you're focusing on manifesting into your life. You're willing to put that work in, and because you're putting the work in, it's all kind of working out really well. Now we have the King of Swords in reverse. Just trying to read into this energy, because it's sort of it's sort of so out of whack with everything else. It's like, what's going on here? So the King of Swords. Okay, maybe it's just sort of like, as I was saying, this whole push-pull energy that you might feel yourself going through. While you can go through this kind of like, it's like a bit of a roller coaster. You feel really up, 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 and then you go down, 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 down a little bit. So I feel like the King of Swords is kind of, it's just not being as balanced emotionally, and not being able to, not managing things in a way that is, I mean, the King of Swords is a pretty cold kind of energy in a way. So maybe it's just sort of like, not being as cold about things because you feel warm, or I'm going to come back to that. My guides are being very odd with this card as well, so I'm not getting any messages, which is odd. Or I'm getting messages, but I'm kind of not really understanding them. But that happens, that's what we do sometimes. Nobody's perfect, least of all me. Alright, so towards the very end of these last 7 days, next 7 days, the last of these 7 days, I think is what I was trying to say. We have temperance, so we have balance, we have alchemy, we have, using two different elements and mixing them together to create something new. We also have just, finding balance and really nice, good energy. So yeah, maybe there'll just be a day where you're just a bit off balance, but you'll find your way back to it being balanced and feeling kind of, abundant and channeling all love. Wow, I don't know, balance. Made that. Speaking of balance, and the camera's like wobbling everywhere. Yeah, so finding your way back to balance pretty quickly. Also seeing the Four of Cups coming up in reverse, it shows me that it's, like I was saying, is that it's all good, it ain't shit kind of attitude. And the more that you practice that, I don't know, that's a really crude way to put it, but it's kind of like, it's don't sweat the small stuff, right? It's that same attitude, and that's what comes through when you're using gratitude and appreciation for all the things that you already have, right? You start to realize that all these little things that you can let trip you up don't have to trip you up. You can just stay solid anyway, and I feel like that's what this energy is like. The Four of Cups in reverse is, instead of feeling like looking at all these empty cups and only seeing, the disillusion that comes with the empty cups, or, not feeling fulfilled in some way, because it's reversed, it's sort of more like actually noticing what the universe is offering her. Understanding that there's like new energy and new things that you can work into something new. And when I'm speaking about that, I'm looking at the Magician, which is sort of like the very end of those 7 days that we're looking at. So I feel like, you'll be doing some kind of magic manifestation, really kind of digging into bringing those new future realities to life. You know what I mean. Let's see, is there any more messages for this group? That's quite a lot of cards, isn't it? I think I might leave it there. I think there's lots of pretty good messages coming through. You guys have got a really good reading. I'm loving it, and I'm gonna leave it there, and I will see you next time. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment in the down below comment section if you want to, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Hey group 1, I completely forgot about this mystery card that came into your group. So here it is. This is another like little message for your next 7 days. There's going to be this well-deserved reward kind of energy coming in. So I feel like all the work that you've been putting in, the work that I was talking about with like the Seven of Pentacles, and just that energy that you're probably going to be wrapping all week, is going to bring in this well-deserved reward, whether that be monetary or just something physical, like something that you've been kind of trying to manifest into your life for a while. I feel like this is going to kind of come into fruition this week. Okay, this is the end of it right now. All right, bye. Hi, it's Alvi here doing the 7-day guidance pick a card readings. So guidance for the next 7 days. This is group 2. So if you chose the little witch, or pile 2, this is your reading. Let's have a look at your oracle cards. So I only did oracle cards this week. I don't know why, I was just guided to do that. So let's have a look here. What have we got? We've got 2 cards from the Healing Waters Oracle. So cleansing, releasing the old, energetic tune-up, new beginnings. There we go. So let's have a look at the other one. These cards will just kind of give you an overview, or like a it's like the underlying energy, or the kind of just a general energy trend of the week for you guys. And metamorphosis, embrace transformation, things are now different. Okay, so I feel like seeing this, that you guys have gone through a big change, or are going through a big shift at the moment. And to be able to fully embody the new, you will need to do some energy clearing. and do some work on releasing and letting go of things that no longer work for you in your life anymore. All right, so we also have everything's okay. So it might feel like things are a bit wild at the moment. If you were going through a big shift, that's normal. Um, it says, don't worry, it's all working out in a beautiful way. So, yeah, when you go through a transformation, things can feel very rocky. Sometimes things can feel very unstable because when you're in that energy of it's not the same as it used to be, but it's also not where I thought I would be, but kind of in between that, things can feel very uncomfortable because we're creatures of habit, and we're used to things being a certain way, and when it's not that way, it can kind of, especially if you're energy sensitive, it can really throw you. It can make you feel anxious. It can bring in sorts of, like doubts and fears and things like that, and you can be wondering what on earth is going on, but when there's actually nothing really going on and there's nothing really to worry about. So the fairies, the angels, your guides, my people are just coming in to say everything's okay. Just remember that everything's okay. And I also have the card for you, take action. So there's something coming up this week. There's an energy coming up this week where you may have to take action, or you should take action. That's the guidance that's coming through. What I might do is I'll pull the tarot cards and see what it is that you might want to take action on. I mean, we all have free will, so you don't have to, but it's a big sigh. It means I'm channeling a lot. I'm going to do that because we're talking a lot. Alright, so let's have a look. Messages for group 2. What is going on here for group 2? What might they need to take action on? And what are your messages for the week? What are the messages for group 2 for the next 7 days, not for the week? I gotta remember that. It's a timeless reading, so it's for the next 7 days from whenever you see it. So we have the Queen of Cups, but she's in reverse. Alright. So I'm going to pull a few more cards before I start to get into the messages. Let's have a look here. What other messages do you have for group 2? I kind of felt that coming. The 2 of Pentacles. Okay. And we have the 3 of Swords reversed. There's a few too many there. We might just shuffle again and see what comes up. Messages for group 2, please. Messages for group 2, please. Any more messages for group 2 for the next 7 days? Guidance. The Hanged Man. And we have the 7 of Swords in reverse. Temperance. And I think that's enough cards for this 7 days message. So at the beginning of these 7 days, so current sort of very near future energies, we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. This is talking about feeling, as I said, like the Queen of Cups in the upright position, she has pretty much mastered her emotional stability, right? She's the water in this represents emotions, and she's kind of like half above and half below, so she's comfortable with how she feels when she's in the upright position. But I feel like there's some things going on with you as you shift, as things change, that you are not exactly comfortable with. You might be feeling kind of rattled at the moment, as I said, and maybe you just feel like you're not in your best energy. You're not on your best how can I say it? I was going to say best behavior, but that's not what I mean. That's just like just not like living your highest potential, I guess. Um, so the Two of Pentacles coming through here as well for this, the next few days, I suppose, from when you see this. This is talking about juggling, alright? So this is talking about there's two things instead of one. And maybe this is like, making a decision about something or trying to manage two things that are too much for you to manage and you just need to manage one. You just need to look after the one thing, not the two at this time, because this is part of the reason that you feel uneven and unbalanced is that you are sort of stretched too thin in this way. So the Two of Pentacles, I feel like it's kind of talking about finances, but at the same time we've got a bit of a love theme going on here too. And honestly, the energies of love and money are similar. So sometimes if you feel very much like you don't have love, then you don't have a lot of money, or vice versa. We have the next for the coming up after that, this feeling of needing to balance, needing to juggle. We have the Three of Swords in reverse, and we have the Hanged Man. So this is a very interesting energy coming through as well. It's sort of talking about, I feel like, what I actually feel like is coming through here is there's some things coming up that were repressed. So it's like some emotional pain. When you get the Three of Swords, we're talking about like, broken hearts, ruined relationships, things like that. Just a lot of emotional pain. And I feel like this is something it hasn't yet been integrated, it hasn't been resolved, it hasn't healed. And this is kind of making things really difficult for you to balance and for you to be, on top of your game. I think that's what I was trying to say before, on top of your game. On top of your game in life, because when you have that kind of energy, it's very tiring, it's very dragging. And when we have the Hanged Man as well, it's sort of like saying you're at a standstill so that you can dive into this. And as much as no one wants to dive into the pain, sometimes you have to, as they say, feel it to heal it, right? Sometimes we have to sit with ourselves and allow that what's coming up to know that we know it's there and acknowledge it. Sorry, my guides just stopped me dead then for a minute. So yeah, that happens when they want me to change the subject or there's a different message coming through. So yeah, what we're kind of looking at is finding a place of balance so that you can come out of this Hanged Man. Oh, pardon me. Yep, that's me channeling. Sorry, this Hanged Man energy. So this is it's got you at a standstill. You can't move forward. You can't move back. And then we've got the Seven of Swords as well, which that's in reverse as well, which is in the upright position. This would be someone trying to sneak away or get away with something. I feel like, yeah, this seems very related to something that's, I don't know, relationship related, like somebody was trying to get away with something, take advantage of you. I don't know, maybe there was a third party situation or something like that. And I feel like this wasn't it wasn't yesterday. Basically it was a while ago, but it was something that when it happened it was very painful for you and you didn't know how to deal with it, so you kind of pushed it down and you got on with life. And when you do that, sometimes you cause these kind of blockages in your energy field, and the best way that you can heal that is to allow, when it comes back up, which I feel like this is kind of part of your shift, you're going through this big shift, and as you go through a shift, sometimes you go into deeper layers of what's hidden from you in your emotions and in your psyche. So healing this is like acknowledging that it's there and not loving the pain, but loving the part of you that is in pain until it feels better. because it's, it's an old version of you. So, talking to your old version of yourself, it might be inner child, it might just be a version of you from the past who's still holding on to this pain. And if you can sit with that part of you and just tell it it's okay, I know, I understand how you feel, and I love you, and I'm sorry that this happened. All of those kinds of things, all of the things that that part of you wanted to know and wanted to hear from the person who, brought them the pain, gave you the pain. All of those things that that version of you needed to hear to get past it at that point in time, if you can say that to that version of you and just love that version of you, it will help you so much to resolve the blockage that's in your life right now, and that's coming through, so that you can move on, you can shift, and you can embrace this transformation without fear. Oh, sorry. That was a really big channel. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go on to the next one. I might just pull one more. So I feel like at the end of the week that you are going to be coming into a place where you feel far more balanced. Temperance is about balance. So this is about healing. This whole reading is about, and this whole, I said week again, this whole next 7 days is about healing, right? So hopefully that little channel I just gave you, that little message I just gave you about how to heal is going to resonate with you. It doesn't work for everyone. Everyone's different. We all heal differently. But that is always a good place to start, right? So I feel like you're going through this big healing transformation right now. And at the end of the week, I said it again, at the end of this 7 days, you'll find some balance. There'll be some balance coming in, and you'll find a way to, you will have healed it. I feel like there's this big sort of emotional burden that you feel like you've been carrying, or you're just recognizing that you've been carrying for some time, and it's now coming to light, and it's going to heal for you. Can I just get one more message for group 2, please? Right, where are we? Group 2. Group 2. Here we go. So we have the Ten of Pentacles coming up as well, which is a really lovely card. It kind of just shows, family, a lot of support and a lot of love coming from a stable relationship or marriage, or, your family as well. And also with finances as well, because as I was saying earlier, I feel like this is kind of money and love tied up together. So I feel, so while you might have some deep things to go through, as the angels have said, everything's okay. It's all going to work out in a beautiful way, and it is actually going to work out in a beautiful way, because we have Temperance and the Ten of Pentacles coming up at the end of the week. So lots of balance, healing energy as well. Temperance talks about soul alchemy, so mixing one thing and another thing together to create something brand new and beautiful. And also we have, when I look at this, I feel like there's a gathering or something that you're going to go to, getting together with family, getting together with friends, getting together with, soul family even, who are supportive of you. And I'm also getting a message for some of you that this is it's what you're doing is actually healing a relationship. It might be a long-term relationship, and that this Ten of Pentacles is showing that it's a recoverable situation, and it will recover. So let me just think. I'm just checking in with my guides to see if there's any more messages and I need to pull any more cards. I feel like that's the message, right, that you guys need. So hopefully that resonated. If it did, give me a thumbs up and a like and leave a comment if you want to as well. And I will catch you next time. Hey guys, Alvi here with group 3's reading. So pardon me, I just had a random um empathy attack and started crying out of nowhere, and I don't even really know why I was crying. So yeah, don't mind my sniffing. um I'm perfectly fine. That's how I process emotions sometimes, especially when I don't know where they came from. So here we go. If you chose the amethyst geode with the tree of life pendant on it, this is your reading. I chose only oracle cards this time, just for the what do you call it? For the overlying energy of the week, the energy themes of the week. So for you guys, you have planetary wave, soul mission, trust the inner call, soul team. So planetary wave. Ooh, that's a really good card actually. And stagnant waters, feeling stuck, a call for shifts, flow and change. Okay, so here we go. This is stagnant waters. Okay, so I just did a big healing channel kind of message for group 2, and I feel like this stagnant waters is similar. It's a similar sort of feeling. It's like this feeling of stuckness, but not really knowing, or only just kind of coming to the understanding of why you feel stuck. So I'm going to have a look at the other cards as well. Holiday. The answers you're looking for can be found during a vacation, retreat, or holiday getaway. So some of you might be going away. Some of you might need to go away. And the last card we have is yes. Okay, so that's a really nice card. It's a very positive card. If you've got a particular question that you're trying to find the answer for, the answer is yes. Go on that holiday. So I'm just looking in and feeling into planetary wave, soul mission, trust the inner call, soul team. I feel like at this point in time, and this message is for the next 7 days, so during those 7 days you will be feeling, and you may have been already feeling it, we've had some interesting space weather, which means there's been solar flares and Schumann activity and all of that sort of stuff. And if you're interested in that, there's lots of wonderful people who can tell you way more about it than I can. Check out Ascension Diaries, I think her name is, Alexis, on Instagram. She's amazing. And there's lots of other people as well who are really able to kind of give you the science and all of that sort of stuff behind it. But anyway, what happens is when the sun does its thing, it can bring up it can affect the physical body and the emotional body, because it's energy and we're all energy, right? So with this particular shift that's coming through, I feel like you feel stuck, and you feel like you need to change, but you're not really sure. But this week I feel like you'll get this call. You'll start to remember like what your soul mission is, and you'll feel that inner call. Like something might come up for you, a particular activity or a memory, or someone might invite you to do something, or perhaps someone will invite you to go on a holiday, or you'll be on a holiday or a getaway or a retreat, and it will call to you in a way that kind of lets you know that this is more than just a whim kind of thing. It's from somewhere deep inside you. That was, oh dear, I'm doing lots of sighing again today. If you watch my readings regularly, you'll know that when I do that, it kind of means that I'm channeling a lot. Okay, so let's have a look. We're going to pull some tarot to get some more messages about the next 7 days for you guys. So the first card that comes up is the Hermit, but it's reversed. I'm going to pull a few more cards. I can already feel a message coming through from this one. So, ooh, there we go. What have we got here? Okay. The Page of Cups in reverse. The Hierophant. The Three of Wands. So travel, movement are really going to be calling you this week. I can just feel it coming. The Three of Wands is about like future plans, but it's also about like looking out into the world to see what's out there, beyond your usual and planning on how to get there. So the first couple of days, I feel like with the Hermit in reverse and the Page of Cups in reverse, that yeah, you'll still be in this kind of stuck energy, but I feel like you'll be working through it. So I might pull some cards to clarify that, just depending on what comes up next. But yeah, I'm seeing that it's a time for you to kind of expand yourself a bit more, like to come out of that hermit stage, that hermit energy of wanting to be by yourself all the time. Sometimes when you're stuck, you feel like you want to be by yourself, but it's only because you kind of don't know what else to do. So you kind of pull yourself away because it maybe there's a little bit of fear. I'm getting this fear kind of feeling coming up for you guys, letting me know that like you kind of fear stepping out into this world with an open heart at this point in time. And look, that happens. If you're in the hermit mode, sometimes that's because, you know, you might be feeling depressed or, you know, working through some pain or emotional issues, she says, sniffing, working through someone else's pain and emotional issues with the massive empathic stuff that goes on with me. So yeah, feeling like there's this call to come out of your shell. There's this call to come out from, you know, come off your mountain. Come down off the mountain, please. That's what they're saying. Come and join the rest of us. It doesn't matter if you need to feel a bit guarded when you do it. Eventually, that kind of open-hearted energy will return to you, because you'll find the joy and the inspiration and the love in life when you follow that call of your soul, and when you start following your soul mission and your soul path. So the Hierophant coming up as well. This is kind of in the middle of the 7 days. I'm trying very hard not to say week, because I want this to be timeless, because I feel like they always are timeless. But I'm just so used to saying week because they were the weekly videos. So excuse me if that comes out again. Alright, so we have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is connecting to something bigger than you know, understanding unity. And when you get to that place where you have that like connection to to source or God or whatever you want to call it, sometimes when you go through that experience, you realize that you're never really alone, right? And the light's always there, and we're all one. So there's sort of like this energy of, you know, just kind of laughing at some of the stupid shit we do as humans, you know, like running from our pain and all of that sort of stuff. It's sort of like, it's like this, and I'm not making fun of, you know, emotional pain and stuff. Obviously, that's something that, you know, we all go through, and it is horrible at the time, but when you connect with Source, sometimes you have this sort of like awakening. I feel like this is an awakening for you guys, and it's a little bit of like looking back and kind of laughing, thinking, geez, I was really making a big deal out of that when I didn't need to, because I know that I'm always protected and guided by this, or, you know, it's not as bad as I thought it was kind of feeling. It only felt bad because you were stuck, right? Because you didn't know what else to do, and now you're being called, and now you're reconnecting with your inner being and feeling much more sort of balanced and able to deal with things. So coming up towards it's still the sort of the middle of the next 7 days. So you've got the Three of Wands, which I was just saying about before, which is like going out and exploring, experiencing new things. When I see her standing there watching the waves, it's like she's planning, right? She's looking at where's the next good set, you know, checking out the way the waves are coming in, and kind of working out where's the best place for her to go. And I feel like that is a thing that's going to come through for you, whether it's like you go on a holiday and you realize this is where you need to be, or you're like watching TV or something like that, and you get shown a place, or even like not necessarily like it's not necessarily a location, but like a way of getting to a place within yourself that you didn't really think about before, and it becomes a big call within you. So you're feeling like, wow, this is kind of like something I should pursue. So you pursue it, and then you find out like, yeah, this is sort of like part of my purpose, as part of my soul path. So yeah, sort of planning, not ready to make that move yet, but let's have a look at the general energy towards the end of the week. Pardon my hiccuping. That's also a channeling thing, by the way. Burping, hiccuping, sneezing, yawning. It's just the way energy runs through my body, or works through my body. Okay, can we have some end of the 7 days messages for... There we go. What do we got there? Let's have a look. Justice. For group 3, sorry. Justice and the world. Okay, yeah, I see that. Justice is very much about, you know, things coming right for you. So you may have been in this situation, you might have felt stuck. There might have been, you know, other people involved that kind of put you in this place, or you allowed them to put you in this place. You know, like we all have the choice, but sometimes we don't know that we have the choice. We just think, I'm stuck here. What can I do? And there's no way of thinking your way out of it. I feel like maybe for some of you that is a message in itself, and that, you know, maybe you're strategically planning your way out, and when justice is served, you get what you deserve, and other people do too. And I feel like because it's the right way up, you know, it's like it's a good kind of justice. It's like, you know, good karma, good things coming in for you. You'll finally get what you've been longing for, kind of thing. And then we have the world, which is really cool because it's sort of saying like this is a completion of this cycle of I'm getting depression. I might be wrong, but it's sort of like that anxiety and depression that makes you curl away and you know, like hermit yourself, you know, like in a shell, like a hermit crab. I keep getting that picture as well. I don't know why, like hermit crab. Maybe that's something as well for you guys. So let's have a look here. Yeah, so it's sort of like you're completing this cycle. You're getting out of this cycle. Something's going to come up this week, as I said, and it's kind of going to give you a more expanded view on how things are. And in that moment, it's sort of like enlightening because you can see that there's more opportunities and there's more ways of doing things and there's more ways of going, you know, just going on your soul path than you thought was possible. So it's like an opening up of inspiration and ideas and all that sort of stuff as well. And then a planning, and then seeing things coming to fruition. So justice is like you're putting the past behind you also with justice. So you're letting go of the past and you're letting go of whatever it was that was keeping you stuck. You are actually completing a cycle and moving on to new beginnings. Are there any other messages? I feel for this group that this is quite enough of a message this time. I might not pull any extra cards or anything like that. So hopefully that resonated, gives you some guidance for what's coming up over the next 7 days. And if you liked it, don't forget to, you know, hit the like button, give me a little thumbs up, leave a comment if you liked it or whatever. And I will catch you next time.